Take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. We are now down 145 points with just 3 minutes before the closing bell. That's down 1%. Weak economic data, weak jobs, weak construction, weak manufacturing, and prices paid were lower. That's why the Fed was saying it could even consider increasing its purchase of $85 billion worth of bonds each month. That was the story that we got from the Fed at 2:15. All right, moving on now. If you missed everything that happened today during the session, don't worry. We're about to get you caught up on the only 10 stocks you need to know. Time for the top 10. I'm kicking it off with Chesapeake Energy, down 2%. The energy company reporting profit that beat estimates as natural gas prices climbed. Cold weather in some of the biggest U.S. cities spurring demand for furnace fuel. Chesapeake replacing CEO Aubrey McClendon last month amid conflict of interest questions.
Number 9 is Genworth. That stock is up about 2%. The insurance company posting the second biggest gain in the S&P 500 today. Look, almost up 2.5% after the unit backing U.S. home loans reported its first profit since the financial crisis. Operating profit at the mortgage division was $21 million, the first positive result since back in 2007 as the housing market improves.
At number 8, we've got Allergan. It's the maker of Botox. It's down 13% after the company said it will delay final studies for drugs to treat age-related macular degeneration and baldness. Allergan said it needs to gather more information on those medications.
Alcoa down nearly 1% today. The aluminum producer says it may reduce production because of a slump that has cut aluminum prices by more than 1/3 since they peaked back in 2011. The reduction could affect up to 11% of Alcoa's smelting capacity.
And on the media theme, number 6, Viacom is up today. The owner of cable networks Nickelodeon and MTV rising to its highest price in more than 7 years. It's up 3%. Viacom reporting second quarter profit that beat estimates on improving advertising sales. Stay tuned because Viacom spinoff CBS reports earnings after the bell.
They do indeed, and I'll be bringing you those numbers. But in the meantime, at number 5, we've got another media stock for you. That's Time Warner, and those shares are falling almost 1%. The owner of cable networks TNT and HBO posting first quarter sales that missed estimates. And get this, Time Warner says that a later schedule for college basketball's biggest event, that is the NCAA tournament, that it hurt advertising revenue because, guys, it went further into April than it did last year and than it usually does. So the year-over-year comparisons weren't favorable.
I guess they couldn't offset that with Game of Thrones.
No,
I guess.
But isn't it funny how big corporations always seem to find some sort of reason that suggests, well, it wasn't really our fault. It was the timing, or it was the weather, or, come on, guys, you missed the numbers.
Well, that's what investors think, too, because the shares are down.
Yep, keeping them honest. All right, MasterCard shares down 2% today. The credit card company falling the most since August after first quarter revenue missed the estimates. Purchases by U.S. consumers slowing in February and March as consumers registered the effect of higher payroll taxes. It takes a bite.
Number 3 is Merck. Shares are down 3%. The drug maker cutting its full year forecast in anticipation of lower sales. Merck also announced that it would start buying back as much as $15 billion worth of shares.
At number 2, we've got a 2 for Ford and General Motors, both automakers out with April sales today, and both of them beat estimates. Ford's U.S. sales up 18% thanks to rising demand for the F-Series pickup truck. Meanwhile, GM sales increased 11%, led by strong demand for the Chevy Silverado pickup. Those numbers might have been better, but the stocks down in today's session.
And number 1, Facebook, you guessed it, shares down more than 1% ahead of the first quarter results. That's coming right after the bell, and you can hear the bell right now. Analysts surveyed by Bloomberg are predicting a profit of 13 cents a share on revenues of $1.4 billion. We will have full coverage and instant analysis as soon as those numbers cross the tape.